Hi, Mystics. It's Ananda, the Galactic Mystic, and this is Navigational Astrology, where we are navigating the leading edge of consciousness and the leading edge of conscious relationships. So let's talk about Mars and Neptune in hard aspects with each other in synastry. So Mars opposing Neptune and Mars square Neptune. Let's talk about that. So it's true that Mars conjunct Neptune is a hard aspect as well, but the conjunction of these two, or the conjunction of any two planets, is a complete synthesizing of their energies. So all possibilities are available in a conjunction, both positive and challenging, or beneficial and challenging. So today, I'm not going to talk so much about the conjunction, but much more about the opposition and the square. I'm also going to show a chart so you can see what this looks like in your synastry charts. So when we are relating to others, particularly in our romantic relationships and in our partnerships, Mars has a lot to do with our animal instincts. Mars is our warrior energy. It's also our physical body, our assertiveness, our sexuality, our passion, and our animal nature. Neptune is more of the mystic, the dreamer, a chalice of unconditional love. And so you can see that these two planetary energies are not necessarily automatically harmonious. So when they're already coming from different places, where Mars is much more physical and Neptune is much more spiritual and non-physical. There's, they're missing each other already. So when we have this in our synastry in a square or an opposition, it can be a challenging aspect, but it does not have to be a deal breaker. With conscious awareness, this can be successfully navigated. So how do we do this? The thing is that the Mars person needs to be aware that if they allow their unbridled animal nature to just freely run at their partner may experience that as a bit of a fried circuits kind of feeling. It can overwhelm them. It can feel too much for them, or they might be kind of like, ugh. And it doesn't mean they're not attracted. It doesn't mean they don't want to be intimate or sexual. It's just the way that this energy goes. So the Mars person needs to be aware of this. And this is kind of where we need to know our own self well enough to know, can I do that? Am I willing to do that? Am I willing to temper my sexual expression or my passionate expression or my animalistic expression for this relationship? It's a good question to ask. The Neptune person, the trick for them, see, each person has a task in this synastry connection. The Neptune person really needs to sort of dig deep within their psyche and discover if there's any programming, any wounding, any tapes playing, anything in their belief system where they are challenged around healthy sexuality. You know, a lot of times when people grow up in certain types of organized religious environments, can grow up to have kind of some hangups around sex and believing it's dirty, or, and I'm not saying that it has to be that, I'm just using that as an example where the psychological awareness of your beliefs about sexuality are going to be very, very important here. That's where the mystic in Neptune has a job to do. So the job for the Mars person is to temper their unconscious expression of their animalistic nature and sexual advances. Doesn't mean they can't, excuse me, doesn't mean you can't be passionate and sexual, but just to do it consciously, knowing that your partner is more sensitive, is more tender. And, you know, particularly if you have Mars in Cancer, you could take a protective stance toward your partner of, okay, I am taking these steps to protect my partner from a type of energy that could really fry their circuits. And then the Neptune person can say, well, I'm going to do some really deep psychological digging. Maybe both people should do this and really root out and focus consciously on healing any false programming, false beliefs I have about sex, sexual expression, passion, and the animalistic nature of humans. We are animals. We're legit just animals, you know, smart animals, but still just animals. So let's look at a chart and see what this looks like. Okay, so this is the synastry chart for Donald Trump and Melania. And here you can see Donald Trump is on the outside, Melania Trump is on the inside. And you can see here, he has Mars at 26 degrees of Leo, and this is squaring her Neptune, which is at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. Now, what's interesting here is that Melania also has a natal Mars Neptune opposition. So this energy is already a little bit within her. And sometimes, you know, sometimes when we have a natal aspect that we also have in synastry, there can be a level of familiarity and comfort, even if it's a bit of a challenging aspect. It still is something that we are accustomed to, something that we can recognize as ourselves within the relationship, if that makes sense. So they have this square, which is pretty interesting. I have the opposition in my relationship with my husband, and I work with many couples who have this Neptune square with this Neptune Mars square or opposition. And like I said, it's not a death sentence. We need some challenging aspects in our synastry. And it just means we have to be a little conscious about it. And, you know, if you're like me and you are here for next level relationships, for conscious partnering, for divine unions, consciousness is the way. So I hope this was helpful. Does this do you have this in your synastry? Let me know. And let me know if these tips on how to manage it resonate and if they're helpful for you. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I'm doing dailies. Come back every day and get your navigational daily forecast. I'll see you soon. Have a great day.